it's funny how you get creative. Have you guys done any sort of like live stream event kind of things or anything like that? Yeah.
We were doing a weekly thing on Fridays where we were just doing acoustic things, but we haven't done a full band thing. I mean, we'd love to, and we would if we could. But Mike, our guitar player, Mike Mushak, is
Yeah.
in the States. He's in Connecticut where he lives. So for us to do it properly as a band, again, it's next to impossible
Yeah.
to just
It's
cross the
him.
border.
Yeah, it's him
Yeah,
going to a hotel for
yeah,
2 weeks and doing the whole
yeah, yeah,
hard. It's
yeah,
fucking hard.
yeah, yeah. It
It's the
sure
same
is.
thing. Our manager co-manages. Well, he also manages the Used, and they're also obviously friends of ours too. And
Yeah.
their guitar player Joey is like one of my oldest friends, and it's like, why aren't you guys doing something? And he's like, dude, Bert lives in Australia.
Oh, does he?
Their bass player Jeff lives in Hawaii. So he's
Yeah.
like their drummer lives in Salt Lake, and he lives in California. So it's like we're like everyone has to come from really far away,
Oh, yeah.
quarantine, and then quarantine when they go back also. So it's like
Yeah. Oh,
people
yeah.
with kids and all this stuff. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a bummer, man. Hopefully things get back to semi-normal later this year
Yeah.
and then into next year, you know?
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's cool,
Yeah.
man. I mean, have you kind of been filling your time? Like, it's hard not to ask these kind of questions to different people, especially like we we really don't know each other. It's funny.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
love how it's part of the way that why I love the internet because like we've never met. I don't think we've ever like we've maybe briefly in passing met,
Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah.
like never hung out and
Right.
like literally met through via like Instagram
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
would like every now and then I'd see like like you liking a photo or something like that or commenting
Mhm.
at first like I don't know who the fuck knows about anything that
Mhm.
I do as most people like it's not embedded in your brain to just assume people
Yeah.
know like yeah people know what I do so I was like oh
Right.
that's fucking crazy and it was funny because I wanted to get on and chat with you because like there's so many like my whole career so many people have compared me to you which at
Right.
first I was like you're high I don't know what you're talking about
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
no same thing when I was like when I first started people were like man you sound like Ozzy and I was like what the fuck are you talking about and then
Yeah.
it's like you pick
Yeah.
out the one way I sing in this one song and you're like okay that's kind of sounds good
Right.
but like
Right.
the more I like actually listened and like
Mhm.
tried to be like what are these people saying what are they hearing
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
have the craziest similarities in just
Yeah. Yeah.
like our grit and like our
Uh-huh.
timbre in how we sing that it's kind of
Absolutely. Yeah.
fucking weird. It's kind
Yeah, yeah.
of
Yeah, absolutely, man. No, it's good. You and I were talking about that
yeah,
last week or whatever. And since then, I've heard, obviously, I mean, I listen to Octane if I'm driving around. I heard you guys a ton.
yeah,
And yeah, I mean, I can hear it absolutely 100%. I mean, it's, super similar,
yeah,
not identical by any means,
yeah.
but like you said, yeah, I mean, it's,
It's
it's pretty
funny.
funny, man.
Do
Yeah.
we should do a split 7 inch of each other covering each other's songs and
Yeah.
see if people can guess.
Right. Right.
Who's the singer?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh
No,
god.
yeah, I mean, on that note, congrats on the tunes, man.
Oh, thank
Uh,
you.
yeah, heard Warrior, I think, whenever you released it, I mean, a couple
Yeah.
days after it came out or whatever, but yeah, killer tune, man. I love
Thank
it.
you. Thank
Love
you
that
very
song.
much. I
Yeah,
appreciate it, man.
yeah,
We're
yeah,
it's a fun time, like we've gone through a bit of a shift and as you've done in your career as well and it's always that interesting time mentally where you're like how the fuck's this going to go? You know what I
mhm.
mean? Like
Oh, yeah,
you can
yeah,
be confident and stoked on what you're doing, but it's like until it gets into the hands of the gatekeepers, like
mhm.
you never know. So it's
Yeah,
definitely
oh,
going
yeah,
good, and people are being really cool, and it feels good. I mean, I know the feeling too. Like when
yeah,
you put out
yeah,
a song you love, and you're like, here's fucking hoping,
right,
and then it actually
right.
starts to do something well. You're like, it's it.
Yeah, and then the response is there, and you're like, yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. And we're label mates too, right? With Spine
yeah,
Farm,
yeah, we
talked
are.
talked a lot to those guys about those guys there about you guys and that
Yeah,
sort of thing. So I think it's just a matter of time before we're
doing
back out
something.
on the road doing something.
Exactly.
And what's funny is I was talking to Kale, and Kale, my cousin, bass player in Saint Astonia,
Yeah.
he knows him. I mean, he was in Art of Dying for a
Yeah.
long
So
time,
we
and he
did
toured with you
Uproar.
guys
Yeah.
quite a bit. Uproar, right? Yeah, he's actually right now he's working at our other cousin's place putting up some lights, and he came across this on his wall. Check this out. And this is literally while you were playing me the intro songs, and I'm sitting here
That's
waiting to do this interview. Kale sent me this.
oh
I don't know if you
wow.
that's yeah,
That's
that's the Uproar record, and it's
yeah, the
got Hell or High
plaque.
Water under there and Art of Dying, and yeah.
Yeah,
So it was strange. Kale just sent me that. Oh, I was sitting here
that's
waiting to talk
crazy.
to you.
Was
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was you Three Days Grace was on that tour also, weren't they?
Yeah, it
When you
was
were still with them.
I wouldn't have remembered this, but it looking at this, it was Avenged
Yeah,
Sevenfold that was headlining that, and we were, it was us and Seether and
yeah.
I think Bullet for My Valentine and Escape the Fate. Yeah.
What a
So
fucking lineup, dude.
and you guys and Art of Dying, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was yeah, just
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah.
Is Art of Dying still doing anything or
They're not. I mean, they're still a band, but they're kind of spread out doing different things now too. So I think the main thing there is Johnny, the singer, is doing other like not music, but he's getting into other
other
avenues,
things?
and yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, Art of
Awesome.
Dying's not doing much, but Cody is our drummer now, and he was out there with those guys for a long time too.
Sick.
So
That's awesome.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
I love that. Just like, no, you come over and play with us
yeah,
now.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what we did too.
Right,
The
yeah,
drummer of
yeah.
High Water, I was like, you're gonna play drums for Atreyu now. He's like, that's tight. I'm in.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, no, it worked out well. And I actually, our bass player, our original bass player, St. Astonia, Corey Lowry, he jumped ship and went to Seether, started playing guitar with
Oh fuck.
Sean and those guys. Yeah.
That's
So,
crazy.
and at this exact same time, I was actually thinking that I'd like to get Kale into the band to play bass because we've grown up playing music together, and
Of
it's
course,
just,
yeah.
just feels right for us to be in a band together. So I was thinking how I could make this happen and this and that. And then I randomly got a call from Corey and management saying, "Hey, yeah, I'm going to go play guitar with Seether." And I was like, it's working out, man. It's
This
working
is
out
meant to
perfect.
happen. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Got on there with Kale and said, let's do it.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah. Yeah,
That's
man.
cool, man. That's awesome. It seems like you've I mean, I've obviously known of you for fucking ever. Like we were recording, I think it was when we were recording The Curse, and we did The Curse in Canada with Garth Richardson.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, like your guys' first single was fucking exploding.
Right.
And I could not get the entire time we were there, especially because being like Canada too, like that's
Mm-hmm.
the beautiful thing about Canada is like Canadian bands, like, yeah, you get big everywhere else, but like Canada is just fucking crazy. Like
Mm-hmm.
they love their bands. And like even the
Yeah,
way
for
like
sure.
Canadian radio works, it's like, nah. Like if you're like
Yeah.
an American
Yeah.
band, like you have to like pass these like thresholds of criteria before they'll even
Right.
think about accepting you. Cause it's like, well, we'll just
Yeah.
play a Canadian band instead. But
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember making like being out there, like I could not, it was like you couldn't escape you guys,
Yeah.
which is,
It was pretty crazy in the beginning. It all, it happened super quick.
yeah,
So yeah, but yeah, Canadian radio is pretty cool. They have to play. It's part of the law that they have to play. Um, I want to say it's 40% Canadian
uh-huh.
music, so they have to, they have to.
Have to fill
So
that quota. That's kind of
yeah,
awesome though.
exactly.
Like what a way to build
Yeah,
your country up and like support your economy and
yeah, yeah, for sure,
wait, hold on
for
a second.
sure.
I'm looking at the Zoom. Hold on a second. Earlier I was fucking with the Zoom like filters.
Right.
Hold on,
Oh
this is
yeah.
gonna be awesome if this is real. Hold on. Okay, here we go. I put there on the Zoom filters. There is one that has it's still on. There's a goatee effect,
Oh yeah.
and I was just like, "What are these?" Like, did you see that?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I just
Wait. So
realized
what's the
it was
what's the
still
real
on.
one?
You can like mess with the opacity. Look,
Oh,
that's
that's great.
ridiculous. I tried this one out too. This one's good. Eyebrows.
Ah, there you go. You got brows.
Yeah, it's good.
Looking. Yeah.
I just moved and looked in this camera and was like, the goatee's
What
still
the
on.
hell? Yeah.
I still got a thicker goatee than I
When do
usually
they
do.
grow that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that got really thick. I just went in like the pool with my kids. I was like, am I wet still? Is my beard
All
wet?
right.
So good. I love it, man. Are you do you have kids or anything? You have your
I do,
family? Yeah.
yeah. I do, yeah. So I mean, that's you asked earlier what I've been doing with the time. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, that's it. And we're actually we're expecting another one here very shortly in a few
Congrats.
weeks.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, yeah, very soon. So Yeah, that's what I've been doing. We have a 3.5-year-old, expecting another one, and it's all family right now. Doing
Genius.
tons of writing, doing a
Yeah.
lot of writing with guys, just remotely and that sort of thing. And we're working on some new stuff. Saying Astonia, I think we're going to put out an EP here shortly. So,
Awesome. Awesome.
yeah, just that stuff, family and music that I'm able to do.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
same exact thing. I love that. I
yeah.
mean, that's been definitely me and my wife have talked about this so many fucking times over the last year or so. But like how the like really there's a blessing there where
Mhm.
like being in our line of work, we will never probably get the opportunity to have this much time with our family ever again. Not only
Yeah.
that, but having time with your family where you're off tour or off work, but also
Mhm.
that like off everything. Like you can't
Yeah.
even for months and months and months because I write a lot here too for a lot for Sync and obviously for like with like other artists and stuff. And for the like first 6 months of the pandemic, like my usual writing partners and stuff, like we didn't even do that. And like
Mhm.
so everything was done. So it was like I don't there's nothing else to focus on other
Yeah.
than your family, which is like that's a cool gift
Yeah.
to
Oh, yeah,
be
absolutely.
given that
Absolutely.
opportunity. And
Yep.
like my kids are at such a cool age too. I mean, I have a 4-year-old and a 2.5-year-old. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you get that age group. Like they're it's such a insane, awesome time for like
Oh, yeah.
to watch kids grow up, and
Uh-huh.
so
Yeah.
that part's definitely been really fun and really cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
boys
really
are
thankful.
boy or
I'm
girl,
really thankful for that boy, a
awesome,
boy, and he's turning 4 in August. So, yeah,
genius.
3.5. And yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Every day is there's something new, and
Yeah,
there's new words and new sentences and
yeah,
just everything. So yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a blessing
for
in
sure.
disguise. Part of it really sucks, and then a big part of it is pretty cool. And the fact that we're able to, I'm, I guess, fortunate enough to be able to stay home and not have to work a nine to
Yeah,
five,
yeah.
or that kind of thing is, yeah, pretty
That's
pretty grateful for all of it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I mean,
Yeah.
I kind of turned to Twitch last the end of last March. I actually just had I did like my 1 year anniversary celebration of Twitch the other day,
Hmm.
Wednesday, and you know I turned to Twitch because it was like I was doing acoustic stuff on Instagram, and a couple of my friends, one of which is Matt from Atreyu, who's huge on Twitch, and then
Hmm.
another like manager friend of mine was like, "Why don't you get on Twitch?" And I'm like, "Okay, I'll try it out," and it's really been like just an insane connection. I've talked to everyone in my chat and all the kind of like usual people that come hang, and
Hmm.
it's been such a crazy connection that I wouldn't expect to get through a computer. You know what I mean? Like
Right. Right.
I know a lot of these people at this point. Like I know
Right.
like who they are and I know like what they're into and like
Right.
how they are as people. And it's just it's a cool connection that I've been able to kind of acquire with a lot of our fans because
Right.
you never get that opportunity otherwise. You get your meet and greet hello and oh I saw you behind the
Yeah. Oh,
stage
yeah.
by the bus and hey can I get a photo? Like it's
Hmm.
cool to get to like meet these people. It almost becomes more human and like
Right.
that's been the only thing for me too. It's
Hmm.
forced me to fucking like sing all the time.
Right.
Like I
Yeah.
do 3 days a week. One or two of them might be, doing this, having guests on, and then, one or two of them might be just singing songs and, playing
Hmm.
acoustic guitar and doing like all this stuff. And at the beginning of the pandemic, I did like a live from my living room show where I did like reimagined versions of all these Atreyu songs
Hmm.
and then like put out the songs. And it was just it's like opportunities to like sharpen the steel, so to speak. Like I would have
Yeah.
never done that. I would have never
Right. Yeah.
thought of these
Yeah.
songs in this way if I hadn't gotten on Twitch and been playing them on
Hmm.
acoustic guitar. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like so
Yeah.
it opens
So
up all that.
what do you attribute that to? Like the difference, I guess, between being able to do it, let's say a live, going live on Instagram or something,
Uh-huh.
right?
I mean it
I mean,
the
what's the
difference.
yeah.
Well, I just think it's more like community. I feel like it's more like purpose, Like you go on Instagram, someone is like, oh, they check out your live and they might watch you for a sec and then they're back to
And then they're
swiping and
gone.
back to doing whatever they're doing. Like
Right.
Twitch, I feel like is a lot people. It's like they're coming to your stream because it's like
Hmm.
people make it ritual. You know what I mean? I have people that come to like almost every stream. I see them on
Right.
like almost every stream. I have a couple of like mods that help out like almost every entire stream, and it's more of like
Right.
a culture and like a community
Right.
to it.
Yep. I hear
And
you.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like, and it's cool because people can like subscribe to your channel, and like there's little like emotes and stuff that are like always used in the chat, and like there's like ownership, you know. It's almost
Right.
like no one's ever like, I follow Adam on Instagram, like,
Right.
right? But it's like I follow Adam on Twitch. It's like ownership, and like people will like buy the Twitch stream merch because they want to like represent you, and like
I
it's
see.
more of like a direct, it's like a direct
Connection.
connection, you
Yeah.
know, which is,
Yeah.
it's
I
been
got
really
you.
cool. It's been
Right.
really cool.
That's cool. Yeah. I mean, I don't know much about it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty obviously it's, yeah, something new, but I did start an account.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
We'll
Just
see where that
we could
goes.
see
And
more of Adam.
yeah.
Definitely. I mean, it's cool because if you have the setup available to even just get on with like an acoustic guitar and a good mic and sing, like for forever, I literally had an iPad. I was
Right.
on my iPad singing songs with an acoustic, like,
Hmm.
and it sounded good enough, but it like
Yeah.
didn't matter.
Right.
But then, you know, as I went on and I got a better rig and stuff like that, like if you're at all in the production world or you're producing,
Hmm.
like it's cool to just like hop on Twitch for fucking 3 or 4 hours and just like, I'm gonna make a song, everybody
Right.
watch, and just hang
Right.
out,
Right.
and you can kind of interact
Yeah.
with the chat when you want, and you know, or you like, I do stuff where I do like B SALL karaoke, and or you come to my channel a lot, you get like channel points,
Hmm.
and so it'll be like you can use your channel points to request anything from my catalog, and at
Hmm.
this point, like it's another thing too where people have become more focused on my entire music catalog because now they know my solo music, my all other projects, and this and that
Right.
from Twitch, so you can
Yeah.
request anything like that. Or you can like drop this, like it's like a Rick, we call it a Rick bomb. It's like a sound bite that'll play Rick Astley, and then you can
Hmm.
request any song you want. Period. So I was saying like fucking like Genie in a Bottle, or like
Yeah.
Let It Go, or you know, everything from
Yeah.
that to like, you know, it could be like a real, you know, like a Falling in Reverse song, or a
Yeah.
fucking, you know, U2 or something. So
Yeah.
it's just fun. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
so if you have the wherewithal to like have a setup to do stuff like that, like
Right.
I think anyone should try. Like my wife got on Twitch a few months back, and obviously like she's all over the kids. Like she's freaking super mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that I
Yeah.
can like come in here for a few hours a day, you know, a couple
Right.
times a week, and I can go to
Hmm.
sessions. I can do whatever. And
Yeah.
so I was like, she's like, she started getting into vintage Disney video games, like Super Nintendo and stuff, and she got on Twitch, and she'll come on like, you know, once a week, whatever it is, and just like sit and play freaking Disney video games. And like for
Hmm.
her, it's fun because she just like has a
Yeah.
couple glasses of wine and like unwinds and plays dumb video games. But
Yeah.
people go to her stream too, and they like look forward to it because like
Right.
she's a funny, bubbly girl, and it's like it's interesting to watch. So you just kind
Yeah.
of like
Yeah. Yeah.
never. There's so much available there, you know.
Right. I did it when I opened the account, my Twitch account. I did scroll through and, you know, saw the live things, and I found myself getting just, I don't know, getting sucked into other people's, you know,
For
playing
sure.
games and stuff. You know, I was,
Yeah.
you know, before I knew it, an hour had gone by, and I was just watching some kids play Grand
Play
Theft Auto.
games.
You
Yeah,
know,
for
yeah,
sure. Well,
yeah,
that's another thing too.
yeah,
If you're a gamer as well, like
yeah.
pull that into the mix, and it's like you never
Right,
get old of like, it's like never like, what am I gonna do today? You know, it's
right.
like
Yeah, there's always something.
always something
Yeah,
to do.
yeah.
What is your, do you know what your Twitch handle is? I'll just throw it up
I
in the chat so people can at
I'm
least give you a follow.
I'm pretty sure it's Adam Gontier official. I tried just using my name,
Yeah.
Adam Gontier, but it was taken.
Okay, so Annie, if Annie's in the chat, will you throw a shout in the chat for that? Maybe you can find it. So we can at least get everyone on here giving a follow.
Well,
That's
thanks,
awesome.
man.
Yeah, of course. Because that's the funny thing with, you know, you gotta go through the motions at the beginning too to like, you know, become affiliate and get all the stuff so you can get subs,
Yeah,
and but
yeah.
it always helps. Actually, just have your management call somebody and
Oh,
tell them
right, yeah.
that I didn't know that existed until I was on Twitch for like 8 months. My
Oh,
management was
yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, like we were talking to Twitch about some other stuff like for the band," and like I'm like, we can just like get, because I was like, we were talking about doing a band account, you know, and doing
Right.
like having everyone in the band being interactive. There you go. There's the link. Everyone go follow Adam.
Nice.
And it was like It was like, oh well, that would suck because we'd have to like become affiliate or partner, and it might take a second. And they're like, no,
Right.
they'll just do it. I'm like,
They'll just do it. Yeah.
something that I could have known 8 months ago.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Before I've been doing this the whole time. But
Yeah.
it feels good to have built it on my own.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
definitely fun.
what do you guys have going for the next? I mean, I know you just released another song. Is that right? I thought I
First,
just heard
yeah, first I'm gonna
one,
spill some
or
water. Well, spilling water on my shirt is the first on the list. That's what I'm
I was
doing
just
first.
curious if you guys are
Yeah,
just kind of releasing some
yeah,
tunes and then playing some
yeah.
shows, or what the
We're going full bore. We just released. So we did. It's funny. We released a song back in like October or something. That was like the first kind of like announce of the new lineup and the new song and everything like that. And that wasn't meant to be like a single, really. It was more so just like street single, so to speak.
Mhm. Yeah,
But it just started going at radio, and like with nothing put behind it, the label was like, oh, okay, we're just gonna let this work for a second, and ended up getting in like the high, like mid 20s on its own,
right.
and like
Yeah.
stayed there for like a while. And
Wow.
so we kind of just sat on it, and then we released Warrior. We did Warrior and the other song Underrated. We released them on the same day. Obviously,
Okay.
Warrior got the majority of the attention.
Yeah.
And then we released a video for Underrated like last week, so I think it kind of got another resurgence of attention. But
Right.
we're
Right.
putting out an album in June, and we'll release some more songs before the album comes out. Like we wanted to kind of stretch it out and just kind of give people a lot of material before
Hmm.
the album came out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's a long album, so a lot of songs rather.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, we have a couple festivals booked as of now. One of which is Aftershock, which we were supposed to play in 2019. Then that went to 2020, and that didn't
Hmm.
happen. So now this one is supposed to happen.
Right.
Um, so we have that, and we have one other festival. I think on the East Coast. I don't know if it's announced yet, so I probably won't say.
Hmm.
But we're hoping, like with the record coming out in June, we're hoping to maybe start doing at least something,
Yeah.
in the summer.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully, even like we were talking to with management, it's like oh cool, maybe we'll do another live stream for the album release. And he's like,
Hmm.
we might be able to play some
An
shows for
actual
the album
show. Yeah.
release. Like maybe we do some
Yeah.
shows in California or California, Arizona,
Right.
Nevada or something like that
Yeah.
for release. And so we're just kind of seeing how it's gonna go. But
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
at least there's
Cool. Yeah, it
promise.
seems to be that. Yeah, it seems to be that. I mean, we were supposed to do Rockfest in Wisconsin, which is apparently happening
Yeah,
this year. That was, I think, the same thing. I think it was originally 2019, and then got pushed to 2021, or 2020 rather. Didn't happen, and I think it's happening this year, but we're not able to play it because
uh,
we can't really commit to being able to do it, crossing the border,
yeah,
quarantining, going through all the stuff,
for
and
one show.
yeah, and you never know if all of us are gonna, I don't know if we're gonna, who knows, make it in there and stick around for 2 weeks before we play. It just doesn't make sense. So
Yeah, it's kind of
we're not
crazy
gonna do it this year. I think 2022 is our plan anyway, to
for
just
sure.
get back out on the
Yeah.
road.
I mean, I think if
Yeah.
like, and I don't know that it is, but it's like if this year later, more so late summer, fall, if it was like cool, like people can tour, you have to if you're coming out of country, you have to quarantine for 2 weeks and blah blah blah.
Hmm.
Even if it's 50% capacity or whatever it is, like, with
Hmm.
different rules set in place, it's like then I could see kind of being like, okay, well we're gonna do like a 4 week run. So like
Yeah.
adding the 2 weeks isn't
Yeah.
gonna absolutely kill
Yeah.
us,
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you know,
But
but
doing it for one show, yeah, it doesn't really make sense. I mean, we were supposed to go to Europe too for 2 months, last year
yeah,
and this year, and it got pushed back to
yeah,
2022. So
yeah.
yeah.
We did Europe in 19, which is like the summer kind of festival run.
Yeah.
And funny enough, with this same lineup, because our old singer hurt his back, so like 4 days before we were supposed to go. So
Right.
weirdly enough, but we did that, and then we were supposed to kind of go into album mode anyways. In 2020, we started the album in January, went to Australia, and then we were gonna come back and finish in like February,
Hmm.
March, and then we didn't end up
Yeah.
obviously finishing the album till going back into the studio till like June, July.
Right. Right.
Um, but so we've just been kind of sitting on it. I think much like everyone does is like everyone thought at first like, we're not putting shit out till tour's back. And
Yeah.
then we're in this for a year plus, and we're like, well, what if tour never comes back? We gotta be a band still. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
what's gonna happen. Like, there could be
Right.
the next wave of the freaking super mega COVID that, you know, makes your
Yeah.
legs fall off, and we're back in fucking
Yeah. Yeah.
full lockdown, harder than before. You just don't know.
Right.
You,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not
You
leaving
gotta
anything off the table this day and age.
yeah, exactly. And
So
yeah, you gotta keep moving forward, I guess, right? So
exactly.
yeah, I mean, same deal here. We're gonna put out an EP. We have enough material for a full length for
Yeah.
sure, and some, but it seems like we're just yeah, with not being able to tour it and not being able to support it properly,
Yeah.
we just yeah want to hold off
For sure.
and
But it still gives your
just get a
fans
couple
something
tunes out there.
to
Yeah,
chew on.
yeah, for sure,
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
tough. I mean, we kind of, our bass player like kind of sat us down. We had like kind of a come to Jesus moment where it was
Right,
like dudes, like, this isn't our last fucking album. Like, this isn't the
right.
last thing we're ever gonna do. So like,
Yeah,
do
exactly,
we
right.
want it to be perfect and be able to support it and do whatever, blah blah blah? It's like, of course, but like, what if we put out an album in June and then we can't tour till, you know, October, November? He's like, let's
Mhm.
fucking write another record. Like,
Yeah,
we're all
yeah,
super like inspired and excited about the band right now. Like, he's like, couldn't we all go back in the studio tomorrow? Like, you have something to write about? Could we write it? And we're all like, fuck
right.
yeah. He's like, let's
Yeah,
just go. Like, we could do this again. Like,
yeah,
we're far
absolutely.
from
Yeah,
the end here. So let's just keep on, give him
yeah,
something to do. And it's
yeah. It
only
makes a lot
like,
of sense too. Yeah.
it is, and it's hard. I mean, I know like many bands, I mean, have been kind of surviving on, you know, on merch and things like that in this off
Hmm.
time. And it's like, you can only try and sell so many things before you like, you have to give them something. Like, we have
Yeah,
to give you an
yeah,
album or you know, it's like we have to give them a live stream or something. Like, we have to give you something that's like a value, that's not just like a t-shirt, like a
right,
performance or
right.
some form of entertainment. So it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know, you can't like, so that's why we're just doing it the way we do it. And you never know,
yeah.
like,
Just do it. Yeah.
vaccine could fucking fire this world up and everyone could be good to go. And in June we could be playing
Hmm.
shows, you know, you never know.
Yeah, yeah. Never know.
So
Guess we'll see.
exactly. There's someone in the chat's awesome. They keep talking about you. They said, I got to see 3 Days Grace twice before COVID, uh, before you left, and they'd love to see
Okay.
Astonia live someday. I'm like, much like a lot of people. I think a lot of people like got into bands and were like, fuck, I gotta wait.
Yeah,
What the
yeah,
fuck?
yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah, yeah. A lot of new music, right?
yeah, this person, this particular person, I think they commented earlier in this, and someone said, damn, why are all the handles always taken? You said earlier, like, Adam Gontier was taken.
Yeah,
Their
yeah.
handle is FWHIQFHHFIQ. It's just type in fucking letters.
This will work.
This will work. That one's not
Hopefully.
taken. Yeah, that one's
Yeah,
not taken.
yeah. I don't know, man. I always find it funny. I've tried to open accounts here and there on different things, and
You're like, what kind
my
of
my name's
asshole? Yeah.
it takes.
But then
I,
again,
I,
there's got to be some
yeah.
more. I mean, your name's not, your name doesn't sound that common. Like,
No, no, I don't. I mean, the last name isn't all that common at
yeah,
all. So I
no,
don't. I don't know, man.
you
This,
dick.
yeah. Give me my name back, man.
I think it was for our Twitter or something, um, or for Hell or High Water. Our original Twitter was Hell or High Water with a 0 instead of an O. And
Right.
this like kid had Hell or High Water on Twitter, and we're like, dude, we kept approaching him. And it was like, can we have the handle? Like, this is our band. You're just some kid. You have like 30 followers on Twitter.
Yeah.
You don't use Twitter that often. And it took him like a while to even respond. Like, we
Really.
kept, and it was finally like, oh yeah, okay, that's fine. Like, he was cool about it, but it was like, just let us have the damn Twitter, man. Like,
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
need it. Use your name.
Right.
Use
You're
your
right.
name.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Right.
I love it.
Yeah. There's a bunch. I get people sending me like different Facebook things and all sorts of different people with my name and my face and
Yeah.
pictures and stuff. I'm like, I don't know. I don't. I mean, Facebook no more for me. I
I
was on
gave
it
up on that a
for
while
years.
ago. I gave up
Oh
for a
yeah,
while.
yeah,
I
yeah. I
couldn't.
can't do it.
I was just on too much social. I was on too much social media. It was
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like paying attention to too many things here.
Yeah. Oh, I often get overwhelmed just with Instagram. I mean, there's so much there, obviously.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's too much. And Facebook, I couldn't really keep up. Like, it's hard enough to just stay somewhat busy and, putting stuff
Exactly.
out there for people to see, and couldn't do it on Facebook as well.
Multiple.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, or
luckily
Twitter
for
for that matter. I mean, I'm not really on there much either. The odd time, but yeah, yeah, it's tough.
I'm the same. I kind of forgot about Twitter, and then I like started trying to be a little bit more active. But then you realize
Right.
that like Twitter's a different thing than Instagram. Like posting on
Yeah.
Twitter is
Yeah.
different. But so you're
Yeah.
like, okay, now I got to put in the time to like do
Yeah.
that. Dude, you know what I used to fuck up on Facebook though? I used to go fucking hard. Farmville. Remember that
Oh,
game?
really?
You ever play Farmville?
I never played it, but
Like your
I
your
knew about
grandma,
it.
like your grandma and your aunt probably played.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
You
how
just, yeah,
that's how I found
you're
out.
making a farm, right? You're
Oh yeah.
creating stuff.
It's like
Yeah.
Sims. It's like Sim City, but
Right.
for farms. And I literally
Yeah.
found it from like my wife's mom and her grandma. They used
Right.
to play it, and I was like, "This is dumb." And then my wife was like, "We should get a Farmville thing because we can like play with them online and it'd be like cute." And
Yeah.
then we started, and then it was over.
Right.
I was so into Farmville, dude. I'm checking.
You're
Like, oh,
hooked. Yeah.
I gotta go on my. I gotta log in at 3:20 because I gotta check on my corn, and I gotta pick my corn. Like,
Yeah, totally.
got blurry for a second. Like it was so stupid. I don't know why my camera. Okay, so I have this like dumb green
There you
screen
go. It's
behind me.
coming back.
Yeah, it's coming
Right.
back. I had the green screen behind me for that I used on my stream, my 12-hour stream because I never have a green screen usually, but I wanted to do me and my wife used to do a sunset stream. Um her dad owns a house like up in the central coast, like on the coast. So when we were there, we would do sunset stream and just like the oceans in the background, the sunset and the waves, and like have some drinks and like a cheese plate and just chat.
Hmm.
Another beautiful thing about Twitch, because if you want to do something dumb like that, people will hang.
Right. Yeah.
Um, so we did a sunset stream on green screen, but ever since I did that, my camera is just not. It doesn't like the focus is horrible.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, whatever. I need to take this thing down. I think I need to be. I just need to not be lazy and take my green.
That might be it.
Yeah.
You know.
You ever have like things around your house that are like so small and will not take you time at all, but
Oh yeah.
you just kind of move on to other shit and forget?
Hmm.
Like,
Oh yeah. Absolutely. All
yeah,
the time. Yeah. I mean, nothing that I can think of coming to mind right now, but it happens all the time. I mean,
yeah,
I got boxes and like things and places that shouldn't be there, and I'll walk past them. I'll look at them and say, I get it. I'm going
I
to
gotta
do
take care
that.
of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
you're
a
always on the
week later,
way. You're on the way to do something else that's more important to
exactly.
you at that moment. Yeah.
Yep.
I have a
Yep.
box of clothes that I got 3 weeks ago, sitting in like
Yeah.
in my dining room, and they're open, and I just need to just go hang them up.
That's
They're
it.
still sitting
No,
there.
it's
Still
not going
sitting
to
there.
happen.
No. Yeah, never.
Yeah.
I painted my girl's room like a month ago. I finished it like almost a month ago, and I took off like the vent on the wall to paint.
Right.
I put that vent back
Have,
on. The vent cover.
yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
I look
Yeah.
at it
No,
probably
I
twice
hear
a
you.
week, and I'm like, I gotta do that. I gotta do that.
Right. Right.
Just passes me by.
It's different when you got kids running around. When you got, it's like they seem, obviously they're like the most important thing in the house. So
Mhm.
it definitely distracts you from, other
Everything.
stuff is kind of like, nah, yeah, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, just anything else just seems like so minuscule
Yeah.
compared to, like, I don't want to do that. I want to go hang with my kid.
Exactly. I want to hang out, like
Yeah.
watch a movie. We
Yeah.
my wife caved the other day. I'm sure being a dad, especially at your kid's age, like you're probably familiar with like all the latest movies and Disney
Mhm.
Plus and all these things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we had this big debacle where Disney Plus put out that new movie Raya, that new Disney movie
Hmm.
Raya, and
Hmm.
it was like, oh cool, it's new. We go to check it, and it was like, it's fucking $30 to buy this movie. I was like, who the fuck do you think you are? Like, come on, Disney Plus. So we're like boycotting. We're like, we're not buying it. We're waiting till it comes out on Disney Plus. We already pay for this thing. I'm gonna pay $30 for a stupid movie. So then I'm doing this 12-hour stream. So the kids are with my wife all day. So she comes in like midway through the day and kind of knocks. I'm like, hey, what's up, babe? And she's like, hey, two things. She goes, two things. One, here I brought you a drink. She's like, I made you a margarita. I'm like, oh, thank you. She's like, do you need anything else? I'm like, no, I'm good to go. Thank you. She's like, and I bought Raya. I'm like,
Right.
what? She's like, I had to do it. I had to do it.
I
So,
had to.
yeah.
I need a couple hours.
I just need
Yeah.
like I need some time. But you
Yeah.
as a parent,
Yeah.
the beauty of like when the kids want to watch something new, you're like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Oh yeah.
it's not like for me, like the first one that really stuck in was Moana. And we watched Moana till I wanted to gouge my eyes out. So then it
Oh
was
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and I liked the movie, and I'm
Right.
still
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's a great movie, but it
Yep.
was like, please, anything else? Just please, anything
And
else.
the worst is when that happens with a movie that's not that good. You
Hmm.
know, when you get one that's but the kid, kids.
Yeah,
I mean, they don't care.
no,
They just like whatever they like.
they don't. They don't
There's a
care what we
movie my
like.
boy
Hmm.
got into called Rock Dog.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you know it.
I
It's
don't.
whatever it is. I mean, it's about a kid that or a dog that plays guitar, and he has this whatever this adventure trying to learn how to play guitar, and but it's terrible. It's a terrible
Yeah.
movie. But my kid loves music and he loves guitars and he loves all that stuff. So we just had to watch it over and over and over
uh,
again. It's just like,
yeah,
yeah. So I mean, at the very least, the Disney flicks, most of them are,
they're good.
they're
Yeah,
good. But yeah, you watch anything, that amount of times and
you're over
it's
it.
over.
You're over
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
They got really into Lilo and Stitch, and for some reason, I just can't get behind that movie. It just doesn't.
right.
I don't know. It's not my thing. But
Yeah,
still, it's not horrible. But they were super into, like, they discovered YouTube on their own. Like they like
right.
opened it one day on their own, and were like, "What the fuck?
Hmm.
How did you find this?" And they're watching like kids shows. So you know, as you know on YouTube, like a kids show will turn into a recommendation for another thing and another
Oh
thing.
yeah, it's nonstop.
They
Yeah,
found this thing
yeah.
called Kids Fun TV. It is these parents. I'm assuming it's Utah. It seems very Utah.
Okay.
It's like these two parents and like their four kids, and
Right.
it started with just because the girls would do like Frozen. They did like music videos to Frozen songs.
Mhm.
Then it turned into the fact that these people have like 3 million subscribers on YouTube. All their videos are in the millions. Like this family is just raking cash from YouTube. But it is the dumbest thing I have ever seen in my life. The dad is like a fucking goober. The mom is like a dork. The kids are just like horrible. It's like, oh, they shouldn't be good actors, but they're horrible actors. And it's just like,
Right.
it drives me nuts. And it
Oh yeah.
went for long enough to where like me and my wife sat down and I'm like, hey, so I think it's time. We're gonna take YouTube off of the TV. We're gonna delete the app off both of the
Yeah.
TVs.
Yeah.
And they know, being living in SoCal, they know that Disneyland is closed. Disneyland's
Mhm.
closed. It's being cleaned. It's not going to open up when it can open up. We'll go back. So they know this
Mhm.
thing. They know like it's broken. Like
Yeah.
we've kind of used that a lot during the pandemic. Like,
Yeah.
oh, the park's
Yeah.
dirty. They need to clean it. Or like, oh, it's
Right.
broken.
Yeah.
So we got to the point where we're like YouTube's broken, and like they're
Yeah.
like, when Disneyland opens up, if Disneyland opens up, I bet you YouTube will be fixed too. And
Right.
it landed, but
Mhm.
we were like, I can't watch
Yeah.
this show anymore. I
Yeah.
can't do it.
I'm so glad you told me about it. Now I have to go check it out
Oh,
because it's
dude,
so bad. And
it's
then
so
yeah,
bad.
I'll make sure my kid's not around when I open it up though.
It's the dad. It's the dad that really just makes it horrible.
Right.
Like it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah. There's certain things like, I mean, yeah, he's gotten into the Wiggles a bit. Obviously,
yep,
everybody knows Wiggles, and the
yeah.
Wiggles aren't terrible, but
Mm-mm.
there's some parts that are just horribly embarrassing.
Yeah,
For yeah, like
it's
I'm
embarrassing to
just
watch.
it
I'm
is. It really
embarrassed for
is
you, and I have
for
nothing to
that
do with
guy.
this.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah. I know exactly. Know exactly.
The beauties of parenting, dude.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
it's
Yeah.
awesome. I love that, dude.
It's fun
So
stuff,
good.
man. Yeah,
Absolutely,
we're almost ready for a newborn here too in a few weeks. So
dude.
it's gonna be pretty crazy.
That's awesome. I
Looking
saw
forward to it. Yeah.
there's a barbecue spot by my place, and it's nice because you sit outside, and there's like four tables in the whole place, so you're just totally spread out. And there was
Hmm.
a lady and her husband, and she was like big mama pregnant, and I'm like, oh, like from like 10 feet away. I'm like, how far along are you? And she's like, oh, like she's like we have 2 days.
Right.
And I go, oh, so this barbecue is super good right now. She's like, you have
Yeah.
no idea. But I was
No
like,
doubt.
damn, like you forget. Like I remember that 2 day mark, and like,
Right.
holy
Yeah.
shit, so funny.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy when when you get the appointment set and you know what I mean. It's an actual date. It's
It's a
not.
thing
I mean, it's probably quite a bit easier because I've never had it the other way where it
Yeah,
was where it wasn't planned or,
for
or it
sure.
wasn't scheduled. So
Yeah,
I imagine it not being scheduled would be pretty stressful because you get to
Absolutely.
this time and then, you know, you get within a month and it would be just
For sure.
chaos.
We had like both of our kids had both interesting deals where like we went to the final, what was supposed to be the final doctor's appointment. That was like 4 or 5 days before. And something wasn't like going right. Baby's heart was a little slow, whatever it was. And it was like this super long appointment. And the doctor comes in, she's like, cool. So, you guys are going to go. She's like, baby's just a little sleepy. Nothing's need to worry about, but we're going to go and just go to the hospital. And you just go straight over to the hospital. We're going to have this baby today. And we're like, oh, cool. Like, we'll go home and grab our bag and get our stuff together. And they're like, no, no, go to the hospital now.
No, just
We're like,
just
what?
head over.
We're like, so literally like had to, it was like, cool, this is happening now instead. It wasn't like an
Right.
emergency, but it was like, oh fuck, I'm not ready for this. I didn't do what I was
Yeah.
gonna plan to do.
Yeah,
And then my second, my birthday's on the June 24th. My daughter was due on the 25th. On June 20th or 21st, I think, I went to the hospital because I was my appendix was all fucked up. I didn't know what it was, but I'm like, I'm having these crazy pains.
Yeah.
I need to just go to the doctor now because I have a couple days.
Mhm.
So they went in, took my appendix out. It was like a gnarly thing. It was like, you know, a 3-hour surgery that was supposed to take 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So I was in the hospital for like way longer than you would be. And it's the same hospital as my daughter was supposed to be born. So they're like, yeah, so like worst case scenario, you know, we can just like wheel you over.
Yeah.
And then you could be there for the birth and then we'll just bring you back. I'm like, no, like just get me out of here. Just get me out of the hospital.
I gotta go.
So I got out of the hospital on my birthday, got out of the hospital, went to like directly to like Target, got a couple things we needed, went home, went to bed. Next morning, went back to the hospital to the other
Back
wing.
to the hospital.
Had our
Yeah.
baby.
A lot of time spent at the hospital.
Yeah, I know the hospital
Yeah.
very well. Both wings.
Yeah. The appendix person's not fun. It didn't happen to me. It actually happened to Kale when we were younger, when we were kids, and I remember it happening to him where it burst, right? And so he just went down in pain. He was, you know, rushed him to the hospital and yeah, I imagine it's probably a bit different when you're an adult. I mean, imagine it sucks, but
you at least you can like sort of process what the pain is.
Yeah.
But mine was slow. I'm dumb, like where I don't like to admit that I've gotten hurt until I like absolutely have to. So like I had these like stomach pains and it was kind of weird, and then they went away. I was like, oh, it must have just been like a stomach thing or whatever. And like a month before it happened, I had these pains and then they went away, and then I flew to England. I played like a small tour with Goldfinger, played drums for Goldfinger, and went to England, played these shows, flew international back and forth, all the stuff, came back, got the pains again. The doctor's like, yeah, so your appendix has been had a slow leak, and it's just been leaking like horrible shit into your body since that first time. That's why it took so long, because like it was everything that was around my appendix was just like destroyed. It was like, oh, that's cool. So I'm glad I didn't have like my appendix rupture like in the air on the way to London.
Oh yeah, can you imagine that? Yeah.
Oh yeah, lucked out.
Oh, it's brutal.
Lucked out.
Yeah.
We can do.
I don't know how that works. I mean, I know nothing about that stuff. It doesn't say, like, it sounds very dangerous.
Yeah, the appendix is completely useless. The appendix does nothing. It is. It can kill you, but it has zero purpose. I think that's hilarious.
That's why it's there. That is the purpose.
It's like it's like having a fucking knife on the front of your steering wheel. You're like, this does nothing. I can't use it, but if I do the wrong thing, it will kill me.
Yeah, the wrong situation, you're dead.
You're dead. You're fucking dead.
Yeah. Wow.
So good. I love it, man. Dude, it's awesome. It's awesome to chat with you, man. I'm glad we did this. I'm glad I'm glad the internet has brought us together. And
me too, man.
I do, like you said earlier, I feel like between now the fact that we're talking and our label thing, I have a weird feeling we'll probably end up doing something in the future.
Yeah, I think so, man. Yeah, absolutely.
It just makes sense.
Well, we'll just plan on doing it. Let's do it.
Exactly. Just plan on doing it. I've had that conversation with multiple people. Like we're, you know, the pandemic really kind of makes you realize the bands you haven't done stuff with, and you're like, why?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah, there's so many, right? So many. Exactly. It feels like a pretty small world, but yeah, there's still Still lots of stuff out there. A lot of people out there.
Absolutely. Maybe we'll go.
Yeah.
We'll go to Europe. You guys can finally get that Europe tour in. As can
Yeah.
we.
Yeah. Absolutely. Let's do it.
Yeah, dude. Well, it's been great hanging with you. Thank you for coming on. Everyone, make sure
course, man.
Annie post the link again. Go follow Adam's page. Maybe you'll start doing some streaming too.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Hell
Thank
yeah.
you.
Awesome, dude.
Thanks,
Take care of
Brandon.
yourself. All right.
Okay, you too, man.
Peace out.
See ya.
What an absolute gentleman. An absolute gentleman. I think I need to end the Zoom meeting. Anyways, what a fucking good hang. Such a good dude. We didn't know each other before this. I never talked to him really before this, so great conversation. Another great episode.